Hey everyone, welcome back with Bino Mac, where today we're going to continue our playthrough of Nickelodeon Kart Racers. Of course, this is not exclusive to the Switch, but that's what we're playing it on. And of course, we're doing a two-player experience here. You know, I'm playing as SpongeBob, Mr. Bino Mac. And of course, you know, Mr. Subalu64. You know, he's playing as Raphael. Got anything to say there, Subalu64? Very good, parents! Yeah, always a classic, you know, the quarter, you know, as they say. But yeah, we're on to the last, this is one of the unlockable cups. And pretty much what it is there's 3 unlockable cups, and, you know, they're kind of like the ultimate Grand Prix. So the first one we're doing is the Orange Cup. Why is it called that? Because, I don't know, they're lazy, I guess. They just didn't figure they wanted to put, any thought into a real kind of name for it, but this is going to be pretty much normal tracks, and then there's the remix tracks, which I'm not really sure what to expect from that, honestly, and then there's the Slime Cup, which I'm assuming is all the slime tracks. It's going to be 8 instead of 4, and that's why it's going to be, you know, a doubly long video for you fellas here, but that's alright, because you know, we're still going to be talking about various topics and whatnot. But to start us off for today's question of the day, figured we would talk about which Nicktoons had the best opening theme song. Well, Mr. Spoo, why don't you take it away here? You know, what do you think is the best opening Nicktoons theme?
I mean, really, there's a lot of options. I think the 90s had the best run, in my opinion. I mean, you know, you got Rocko's Modern Life, you got Rugrats is always a classic. There's some dog lovers. I'm pretty sure there's some people who like that theme song. I've never been much a fan of Ren and Stimpy. It's just, you know, maybe if it had words, but otherwise it's just kind of it's too laid back and just kind of nothing, in my opinion. That's not saying the 2000s didn't have good ones as well. I mean, you know, you've got Jimmy Neutron, Back in the Barnyard, Teenage Robot, Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents. And then I feel like in the 2010s they kind of started to wane with the themes. If I'd have to say a favorite, I'd say probably Angry Beavers. Just because it captures the, you know, the chaotic love-hate relationship nature of the brothers in about 30 seconds.
I see. Yeah, Angry Beavers, I think that's more obscure Nicktoons, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's not one of the more popular ones.
It seems like it's more like a show. I haven't really seen it. It seems more like classic slapstick type stuff. Is that the style of the show?
Yeah, and it's definitely got like the foil type main character dynamic as well, with the you know, the screwball unmature Daggett always seemingly embarrassing or messing things up for the sophisticated Norbert.
I see. And you think that the theme song does a good job at communicating that?
Yeah, I mean, even the, you know, the footage, the actual clips used in the theme definitely go along with it as well, because it's basically just an entire sequence of the brothers fighting for the spotlight to be the person who gets the most attention on the opening title. In fact, the world-ending gag is that Norbert jumps into the logo, but then Daggett tries to do it, and he just it's like the Wile E. Coyote joke. It just ends up being a flat wall.
Yeah, I didn't know that the Angry Beavers was that, they were just going at it like that, you know? I guess I should have Angry Beavers, but yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, I mean, I think that there's a lot of good picks, you know. I'm more of a 2000s kind of guy, you know. I mean, I think the SpongeBob theme deserves a mention just because, I mean, I don't even think it's really a good song if I'm being honest. You know, it's probably the most memorable opening theme song of any show ever, in my opinion, whether it's good or not. I don't care how many people like Friends, it is not that great of a song, in my opinion. But, you know, I think there's also, you know, like you mentioned, there was Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. You know, I think that was a decent intro. Fairly Odd Parents, I think it's kind of more funny for me for just like the memes of it, you know, like people not being able to understand the lyrics as well. So, I mean, somehow it got changed into, you know, Timmy up in his room. And, you know, Timmy goes up into his room and suffocates instantly, I guess, is to me, because if people can't understand what the line is. So, I don't know, I just think that stuff is kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, isn't the lyric like, Timmy's doom up in his room is broken instantly?
Yeah, I think it's doom and gloom up in his room, something like that, like, essentially, like, I think it's his gloom in his room is what it is, you know, it's broken instantly, but people hear, you know, he goes up in his room and suffocates instantly. Just so, I don't know, just stupid stuff. Another really good one that also, same, you know, creator and stuff like that. I guess he just has a knack for creating songs that people, you know, mishear lines in, was Danny Phantom. I think that's got to be up there as one of the best. You know, the rap. Apparently, everybody always used to think it said, yo, Danny Phantom, he was just 14, but I guess it's actually young Danny Phantom, he was just 14. And that was a whole big video for Butch Hartman to create, and, you know, that was one of the big videos on his channel when people actually liked Butch Hartman during that time. And I don't know, my buddy says that it doesn't matter what the actual lyric is, because, you know, people know it as one thing, so it should just be changed to reflect that. I don't really agree. But I kind of get the idea of what he's saying, but yeah, I mean, the correct lyric is the correct lyric, but I mean, it seems like I said, Butch Hartman just finds, you know, people who can't really seem to, you know, I guess enunciate properly with that kind of stuff. Good songs though, I'll give him that. I think one of the worst intros as far as like, you know, just enjoying the song and stuff like that would have to be Avatar, but honestly it does a really great job. But, you know, it's not even really a song now I think about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's only in like the last 10 seconds. Most of it's just narration of the events of the story.
Yeah, at least leading up to it at that point. And yeah, I mean, I think an underrated one that I've recently heard that I just really like, even though it's stupid, a lot of people think it's the worst one, is the Planet Sheen song. And I don't know, I mean, I think it's just, I guess I'm just that kind of guy where once I certain things that if people don't like it, it kind of makes me like it more, even if I only liked it a little bit. That's kind of like with that SpongeBob SquarePants House Fancy episode where the clip where, you know, Squidward has a couch fall on his foot and then it rips the nail off, and then after that the leg of the couch literally goes inside the nail hole of Squidward. It's just crazy. You know, a lot of people hate it and stuff like that. I didn't really care, you know, to me House Fancy was just some random episode. I didn't really care one way or the other, it was okay. But knowing that people just do not like that because of that particular clip, it really heightens it for me. I don't know, I guess I'm just that kind of a jerk. But yeah, the Planet Sheen song I think is actually, it is kind of funky, you know? Yeah, it's just random nonsense thrown together, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'd arguably say that the theme song is an enigma of Sheen's 2 active brain cells.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last part is, just the last few lines is just him, the main guy of the show, and then Sheen just going back and forth, saying random stuff, you know. Tuna noodle casserole, pomegranate stew, stranded on the planet, what you gonna do? Change your name to Larry, throw bacon on the queen, it all makes sense on Planet Sheen. Makes no sense, but I guess on Planet Sheen it does.
I mean, this is the same guy who blatantly, probably from the most trusted person who would have a "don't touch this" sign in front of a very dangerous object. He was the one who boarded that rocket.
Yeah, that's how the show starts too. Apparently too, like that show was apparently supposed to have a second season, and I guess it was supposed to finish off with a movie where Jimmy goes back, to that planet to save Sheen. But honestly, the first season was just so poorly received, and the ratings were not there. I remember as a kid, I used to like it. I was keeping up with all the new episodes and stuff like that. And I think it was just because I was such a big Jimmy Neutron fan. I wanted just more of, something. I haven't watched in a long time, so I mean, it's probably as bad as people say, but I'm not going to make that call. And I kind of don't really want to. Ooh! The game tried to screw me over, but I made it. But yeah, I mean, I don't. It's sad to see that kind of stuff, Maybe it could have been a little bit better if just planned out a little bit better. But apparently, even the original pitch had nothing to do with Jimmy Neutron. It was, about some guy going through selling fast food in space. So I mean, I don't think like I said, nothing to do with Jimmy Neutron. But maybe we could have gotten the, chat from friggin' Jimmy Neutron, the dude who was Employee of the Month and arguing with Jimmy about, salt and sodium chloride and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe that was what happened, because didn't the restaurant fly into space at the end of the episode?
Yeah, that's what happened, and nobody knows what happened to that guy. It was just never revealed, but yeah, like I said, it had nothing to do with Jimmy Neutron. It was just a fat guy selling fast food in space, and then Nickelodeon didn't like the idea, so, once they pitched the idea of Sheen being the guy, that's when they greenlit the show. So I don't know, it just never really wasn't a good concept just in general. And then DNA Productions has already closed down, which was like a big deal, in helping Jimmy Neutron get off the ground. And then O Entertainment, it was just pretty much their last choice. They had to go with something, or else they were gonna close down, and of course it failed. So they closed down after Planet Sheen's failure, which is too bad. Which it would have been awesome if we had just gotten, something like season 4 of, Jimmy Neutron to kind of finish it up, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen these days.
Yeah, I mean, there could even be Sheen. His voice actor's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he passed away last year. Maybe it hasn't even been a year yet, so it's too bad, but, even that said, I mean, I don't know. People said, Samurai Jack came back after years and years of being canceled. They had their final season, and I guess theoretically it could come back if they had all the right people come back, and the original idea for season 4 Jimmy Neutron. But also at that same note, I mean, I think a lot of people just wanted, like, even heard people say they want like Jimmy Neutron to be more adult, and I'm like, what? Huh? It's a kid's show, I mean, I think some things could work with that, but why of all shows would you want Jimmy Neutron to come back and be more adult? What about that series says this would be better if it was, had dirty jokes or, whatever the heck in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, these are probably the same people who say Family Guy has gone too off the rails recently.
I don't know about that. I feel like Family Guy's been always, after like season 5 or something like that, it's always been really crazy with its, jokes consistently. But I haven't been watching it recently, so. The last time I watched it was when they killed off Brian and they had Vinny, and then they just had Brian come back anyway.
Yeah, that was, wonder why they did that. Is Brian really that popular?
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, he was pretty much, if you had to pick the 3 most popular characters of the show, it would definitely be Brian, Stewie, and Peter.
What about Quagmire, though?
I'm sure he's up there, but I mean, even then, I think a lot of, Quagmire, it was because of all the weird, crazy sex jokes, and I feel like they haven't done that as much recently for him.
I don't know, apparently, in the most recent episode, which was a Lord of the Rings retelling. They actually brought back Herbert from hiatus, but I haven't watched it, so I don't know what he's like.
Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder if he's still his old perverted self and stuff like that. Which, I don't know, I guess I don't know for sure. I think he's been gone for like, what, 5 years from what I hear, but I mean, even if he's a cartoon character, you know, I feel like for the most part, there should be, you know, anything should go. I mean, literally, Brian's having sex with freaking women, human women.
And Quagmire's own father after that sex change.
Right, and then there's also, you know, the freaking fact that Stewie's like pretty much 1 year old and is apparently already gay and knows his sexuality and stuff like that. Like, who cares? You know, jokes are jokes. It's been like that for a while. Obviously, we know, you know, I don't even need to say that those people are obviously terrible. I just think, you know, it's a character, not a cartoon. There's been lots of weird, crazy stuff going on with that, you know. I don't think we should be censoring this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, as Peter himself once said, "What are you looking at? It's a cartoon."
That's a pretty good impression. But yeah, I agree. Well, that said, I mean, I don't know. We're not here to debate this kind of stuff, really. Just here to have a good time. But back to the theme song thing, the whole question, I haven't actually answered it yet, but, you know, I think one more I'd like to bring up, and actually is my favorite Nickelodeon. Jeez, what's going on with your camera?
Yeah, I like doing that. It's basically, it's like it's kind of like teabagging, but in a kart racer with your camera.
I guess so. I mean, you showed me. Man, I haven't even won a single race here. I think that's the first. If we had 4 races, I think that would be the first clean sweep of this whole thing we've been doing, all the Grand Prix. Unless if you remember differently.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But anyway, like I was saying, I think that my favorite Nickelodeon opening theme, it's gotta be Chalk Zone. Yeah, I mean, I freaking watched the series alone just because I heard the song like 10 years ago or something like that. Just I don't even remember why. I think it was just offhand. Me and my buddy were looking the stuff up and clicked on it. I think it's just like a recommended video of like what's next as we were listening to the Nickelodeon opening themes, and then like I just heard it. I'm like, man, this is great. This is awesome. So I watched the whole show because of it. You know, it's just a rockin' beat. It's different. Sells the you know, the show very well, in my opinion. You know, Rudy's got the chalk. That's all I gotta say. Although as far as the 90s ones you listed, I gotta say, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the Rugrats intro. Honestly, I always thought it was really annoying, personally.
Yeah, but isn't that basically... You kind of have a partial feeling with that. If I had to describe babies, it's like cute but a little obnoxious at the same time.
Yeah, I suppose. But I don't know. Something always, the art style and the look of the characters. I mean, I was just never the biggest Rugrats guy. But that said, I am actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I do like the Rugrats All Grown Up theme. I think that's actually a pretty good one too. Chalk Zone's better in my opinion, but you know, I think you know, Rugrats is a pretty good one. You know, I really gotta shout it out. But yeah, I mean, let us know down below in the comments what you guys think is the best Nickelodeon opening theme song. Oh, Drake and Josh, it's not even well, I said Nicktoons, so we'll take that out. We'll take out Drake and Josh. A good opening, but not a Nicktoon. But I think all those live action ones also had a pretty good openings too. I mean, do you ever see those live action ones, you know, when you were a kid?
I've never really seen the iCarly theme song, that's for sure.
But I mean, that's like the only show you really watched.
That's the only one of the era you're talking about. I've never seen an episode of Drake and Josh and my wife.
That is just crazy, man. That's wild. What about Victorious?
Nope.
No. What about Sam and Cat?
Maybe like one episode.
But you seen iCarly?
Oh yeah, Alpha C watches it all the time.
That's interesting. I didn't know that about old Alpha C. But yeah, I mean, I think they all had pretty decent opening themes. You know, they had Miranda Cosgrove singing the iCarly theme. I'm telling you just how I feel. So, you know, of course they have that one. You know, Drake Bell. Oh, jeez, you had to hit me on the way out too, man. I'm doing terrible this entire Grand Prix.
By the way, do you see that floating bubble on the end of lap 3?
I did not. What about it?
Well, I don't know how it got up there. It was just kind of floating.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it or something like that. Alright, 6th race. So yeah, it looks like this one is just all regular tracks. We haven't gotten any slime ones. We haven't gotten any of the, you know, the elimination races. We haven't gotten any of the, you know, arrow races or anything like that. Which is pretty crazy. So, I don't know. I mean, I kind of like it. I kind of dig this vibe. Although, that said, I mean, I don't know. Must not be good for me because I haven't won a singular race. So, I don't know. Maybe there was a pattern that I didn't realize was happening when we were playing these.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe it's the fatigue, though. Maybe it's just you got so worn out. Or I just got better.
I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe you got better, but I mean, what do you mean worn out from what?
I mean, you know, sometimes you play something so much you actually get worse.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I've ever really heard of something like that. I don't know. Has that ever happened to you?
I mean, sometimes. It's also a bit of an overthinking thing at the same time, though.
Well, I mean, like, what's a game that you would say that you've played so much that, you know, you get kind of burnt out on it, and then you know, you start to kind of play worse, you know?
Well, that was definitely my holiday experience at certain points.
Well, so, I mean, I can get the idea, okay, you're burnt out, so you don't have the same passion to kind of keep playing at the same level that you've been playing, but like I don't think you can just get worse at a game in that sense, you know? It's just you're not putting as much effort in is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I guess that's a way to word it.
Indeed. Well, like I said that we weren't gonna have any slime stuff, and I guess this is like a, you know, they only have like slime sections in this track, but I don't know. I also love the oh, you use your speed boost. I thought you just randomly just passed me even after getting hit, just at normal speed. But it's kind of stinks because now I need that freaking boost, and I'm all the way back and forth, man. How the heck did this happen? Yeah, this is knocking futz, I'd say.
You know, it makes sense because there's 10 racers, but you know, as the roads on these tracks have been a bit open.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. But I feel like, I mean, I feel like that's definitely got to be Mario Kart too.
Yeah, there's definitely. Maybe that's why actually the intermission tracks, as the fans have called them in World, are so simplistic because they have to fit 24 racers on them.
Maybe, but I mean, I don't know. I haven't really played too much of Mario Kart World, but it does seem a little uninspired to me as far as that mechanic goes, and I feel like it really would be a lot better if it just had the simple ability to, you know, the option to choose it on and off and stuff like that. But like I said, I haven't really played it that much, but You know, I would want to just play the regular maps online, not the, you know, let's travel to this and then we get one lap of the actual track that they seem to have been pushing for.
Yeah, it's only in private lobbies where you actually get to choose everything. And they even changed the random option so that I don't remember if it's like there's a chance for them to still pop up or if it's priority.
Like you're saying that like there's a chance that, are you saying there's still a chance that the full versions of the track can pop up without the intermission parts?
Yeah, it's just a lot rarer though.
Yeah, sorry about that. The cats, like there's like a moth in my room and the cats were just running around knocking things over, so haven't even been able to find it, so I'm not even gonna say if that's the last time that's gonna happen. I've been keeping my eye out, but I don't know, when it comes to bugs in my room, for some reason they always seem to somehow disappear somewhere, and I don't know, hopefully, you know, I never see them again, so I mean, hopefully it's not where they're, you know, going in my mouth when I'm sleeping, because I don't think I can handle that. But I don't know, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do, I guess?
Yeah, it's Mothman, bro. You just gotta build a giant White House. That'll stop him.
Yeah, just like that's Merman Man's biggest arch nemesis or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I remember that weird episode devoted to where like it was during the storm and he showed up and it was once every 50 years, I think. Maybe not 50, but it was once every like 20 or 30 years or something stupid like that. And like they never really have the character show up again, ever. Which I guess theoretically makes sense. I don't know, he's never going to show up again anyway because obviously the voice actor for Merman Man died, and since then, you know, they just haven't used him on the show. He's only in the background, which is too bad, but I understand, and I can respect that, you know. But, yeah, even as like an action figure in like the show, or, you know, like a character, like a boss in a game or something like that, I don't think he's ever shown up, so. I mean, I guess he's not very interesting when you really think about it, but I mean, I don't know. I think he could have at least thrown something. I don't know. Then again, I also think I just like Kelp thing a lot better. I don't know. Who's your favorite Merman Man Barnacle Boy villain?
So is, you know, the atomic flounder.
What if I were a turtle? That guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. You know, I think it's cool that he shows up and, you know, I think in that, like, as the actual Atomic Flounder and, like, that flashback episode where it's, like, the TV lost episode or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I think to have him. Honestly, the two main ones are Man Ray and the Dirty Bubble. Those are, like, the two top guys.
Yeah, Man Ray.
Yep, Man Ray. Man Ray. Alright, come on. I gotta at least win one freaking race here, man. Come on. It can't end like this. Yes! Yes! What? Oh! Of course. What is there just something with SpongeBob where like he just can't? I just can't make that jump. I don't understand it. Like even when I respawn, shouldn't I have enough momentum to be able to make the jump?
The character debuff. SpongeBob can't drive.
Guess so. And what is that? Do I get one more? Yeah, I get one more chance to try and get a win in this, or else it's a clean freaking sweep. I'm not looking forward to that. I don't want that to happen. This is my channel, tough guy, skateboard boy.
I'm just trying to introduce a new presence.
Guess so. Hey, I mean, it's cool Squidward's there, but it's also funny that he keeps like popping in and out.
Yep, render distance at its finest there.
Guess so. But I mean, come on, this is my track, my hometown track. They could have at least given us some like orange track or something for it. I don't know. Like I've already complained at length about the cup names, haven't I?
Yeah, I mean, they could have even done something like they did for when Shredder was added to the first Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. They could have just given us a Double Dare theme track in all honesty.
I never really watched that show, honestly. I was a Legends of the Hidden Temple kind of guy. I know it wasn't a big show, but I always just thought that was a really cool game show. I always wish I could be on it. Even though when I was watching the episodes, I believe it was already long gone and canceled.
I think they actually had a Wild House episode where like Lincoln and his dad went on to, it was either the actual show or a spoof.
Yeah, I wouldn't really know much about that because the Wild House for me, or moi, as I would say, see, it was just a little past my time.
Well, past your time, you were 17 when the silver came out.
Yeah, past my time, you know. I ain't trying to watch it at 17. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Billie Jean.
Billie Jean? Who's that?
I don't know. I think it's the name of like a Michael Jackson song or something.
Yeah, well, we all know that. You know, it's just like a woman's name. What the heck was? Oh, I don't know what just happened, but all right, I'll take it.
Physics.
I'll also take it that thing. You know, that was like a Matrix. You know, dodging the bottle like that. So I don't know. Things are looking good for me. I think this is my race. I just can't get trapped by those freaking hands again.
Yeah, it's interesting how they just have the giant plankton robot from the Sponge Out of Water movie just in the slime.
Well, I'm assuming that movie came out pretty close to the release date of this game.
Like 2 years apart.
Yeah, so I mean that makes sense. I was thinking of Plankton's Robotic Revenge, honestly.
I think that is the same robot. In fact, if I remember correctly, that game is infamous for all its bosses basically looking exactly the same in terms of the robot design. They just have like different facial structures.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't actually played that one, to be honest with you.
I remember playing it when I was really young, and then never again. Partially because the disc stopped loading after a while.
I see. Was it a solid time?
It was decent.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, there was something else I was gonna freaking say. Now I can't remember about the freaking SpongeBob stuff. Oh yeah, I think it'd be actually pretty cool if I'm a big Chum World fan from Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. I feel like it would be pretty cool if that was like a cart, you know, a track or something like that, you know? Wait, what? How? Huh? How the heck did I go from like second to third to first? Yeah, I don't know. Come on. No! Yeah. No clean sweep on me. But yeah, well, I don't know. You may have beat me. You may have won the battle. You may have won the war. But I won something. But I don't know. That side. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out next week's episode on License Thursday. But above all else, please remember to have a nice day.
Citizens, your salivation is at hand!
Paul!